Dirk said that we're making too much of the rest for you and the team, and that in terms of playing that up is how much fresher you're going to be in all this. How do you feel about the rest and how it's going to help you next week?
Yeah, I feel really good about it. I mean, from the standpoint of, football is a very physical sport, and then, our offense, we pride ourselves in physicality. So I think it'll do us all well, having this time off. But obviously, it's been a little bit since we played football, but, I'm confident in our preparation and, how we've been working. And, we're all back now, so we can put some more work in and get ready.
Is the elbow injury completely behind you, or was that?
Yeah, that's completely, healed up. So glad that it is, so I can be closer to 100%.
In terms of, we saw some of the times you were carrying the ball on the other hand, maybe because of that or whatever. How much did that affect you in some of those games?
Yeah, it was definitely, it made it more challenging. Obviously, wearing that big elbow brace, you can't hold. I mean, I got big biceps, so, I couldn't hold the ball the way I wanted to always, so that's why I was switching it over. And, I think it was versus Nevada, I had a fumble because I couldn't, secure it properly. So just making sure I could really take care of the ball because that's the most important thing.
Ashton, you haven't had 30 carries in 3 weeks. What is it like to, not have to deal with that or the recovery of that?
It's a great feeling, I'll say that. I mean, obviously you want the ball in your hands, but, time off, recovery, rest, sleep, I mean, that's the best thing you can have as an athlete.
So when was the last time, I guess, you might have felt this fresh going into a game or even a game week for that matter, I guess?
I mean, Georgia Southern, honestly, week 1. I mean, because after that, you don't really get this much time off. So it's been a blessing to have this much time off. But, I mean, last time, I was feeling super fresh. We've seen what I did. So hopefully, not just me, but the whole offense and defense, we can all play our best game.
So can we expect 260 yards and 6 touchdowns by either of us?
I don't know about that. Penn State, they got a real good defense, but, we can expect a great performance, not just from me, but from the whole offense.
I guess just with that being said, just what are you seeing from Penn State?
Yeah, they got some really good players. Their front seven is elite. Great linebackers, great D-line. They do a lot, blitzes, pressures, moving the D-line, stunts, and all that. And, they're a single high, team. So we know for sure we're going to get some 7-8 man surfaces. I mean, that's just natural from all the defenses we've seen. But, we're going to have to play a great game, stay ahead of the chains. They're one of the best teams on 3rd and long, so we want to stay out of those situations.
Is there an excitement for you as well then? Because, played some good defenses through the year, but this is a NFL-level defense. A lot of guys are losing the league. Are you excited almost to kind of maybe prove a point and show what you can do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I want to play against the best of the best competition, and this is the biggest platform, to do that in college football right now, and against one of the best teams in the nation. And it's always the best thing to me to play against the best competition.
With all the hoopla of the Heisman and all that, and going to New York, and then everything you're going to be dealing with, in future months with Combine and all that stuff, how excited are you just to have a game week and lock back in and be with your team and play in the playoff this week?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff that's happened. There's a lot of things to come, but, this is the most important thing to me right now, is finishing what we started, finish to finish. So I'm just excited to be back with the guys, with my teammates, and, to keep making memories, and we're still playing football.
There's been some other running backs like a Jay Ajayi in the Fiesta in 2014, but it was the last game. It wasn't a playoff game. It was a bowl game. He knew he was going pro. Like other guys, for you, the fact that this is a playoff game, so it's not like I'm going to sit out, whatever. just how all in, I guess, are you in terms of wanting to help this team win a national championship here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like each and every other game of the season. I'm going to give the team my all, my everything, from preparation to practice to the work to the way I hydrate, eat, get sleep. This is very important to me, and obviously to the team, to Boise State football, so I'm just blessed to have this opportunity.
What can Randolph and carry on bringing the line coming back
And have you noticed, when you're hurt, it takes a while to get back. What have you noticed from them as the time that they've been back has been longer?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job at getting back. I mean, obviously the injury he had, some people wouldn't even make a return during the season. But I've spent a lot of time in the training room this year, so I've seen him in there every day working, just keeping his head down, and to have him back, and he's a leader. He's been leading the O-line even while not playing, just having a great impact on the team. So to have him back on the field is special because he's a great player, but he's also very smart. He helps the O-line connect and gel, and everything runs smoothly. So to have him on the field is always great.
Gosh, I know that the Heisman's kind of the past now or whatever, but even since then, it's been a guy like former Bama running back Damian Harris, or there's like Cam Newton was talking about. What does it kind of mean to even I know that the votes have been tallied, but you hear those guys still fully supporting you, saying who should have won.
Yeah, I think it's real dope to have the respect, of former players, legends of the game, guys who did a lot of great things on the field. So just kind of have the respect and support for them. I mean, that goes a long way.
What can you tell us about Cage Casey?
Man, he's like a silent assassin. He doesn't say too much. I mean, obviously, we talk and we personal and connect, all that, but he's just one of the most humble guys I've been around. Obviously, one of the best linemen I've played with. He does an extremely great job. When you talk about practice, you talk about preparation, the way he works is like no other. I mean, he's a genetic freak. I mean, he's done a great job, and he's been a great teammate, not just to me but to everybody. So it's been great to have him as a teammate for these past few years.
What are some of the qualities that you see in yourself just as a running back that you think could translate well to the NFL?
Yeah, I think just being a 3-down back. So, I mean, obviously running the ball, every great running back, you got to be able to run the ball. But now in terms of the way the game's shifting, you got to be able to pass protect, blocking the pass game. So just having the IQ to understand defenses, understand how they're going to pressure, and being able to pick it up. So just being able to play on each down and then receiving the ball out the backfield. Obviously not as much this year, but, it's on my resume last year. I don't remember how many yards I had or catches, but, I did a real good job in the receiving game. So I feel that from all three phases, those will be able to translate into the next level.
You guys are, double-digit underdogs in this game. Not a lot of people giving you guys much of a chance. How much are you as players kind of embracing that underdog role and excited to kind of prove people wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, nobody had us picked to come to the playoffs. I mean, they had us picked to win the conference like they do every year. But in terms of, I guess, going against what you call the Power Four or the more elite teams per se, nobody ever has us picked to win. So just the same mentality, what we've been doing. We've already proved people wrong, but, we still got to do that. We still got that chip on our shoulder, and we're still fully aware that, people are counting us out.
What is it about, even going back to the first Fiesta Bowl against Oklahoma, nobody gave them a chance. What is it about this program over the years that you guys do kind of fuel off that? Spencer said, please do count us out. What is it about you guys that enjoy that part of it?
Yeah, well, for one, I think just a lot of players who come here, they've been counted out in their careers. They didn't, get the offers per se they wanted or go to the school that per se they wanted. But they decided to come here for a common reason, and that's because of the culture, the winning history, and, the program that you're getting into. And that just starts from the work we put in. You talk about being blue collar. I mean, that's just what we do. We go to work. We don't care about what anybody's saying about us. We don't really care about the outside noise. It's just about the work we put in.
Let's go to zero.
Boustro, we'll start with you. question. You came in here and before the 2022 season, the college football playoff was just expanding. It was we were starting to get a feel of what exactly it would look like. Was that ever on your mind, getting a spot in the playoff when you came in?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. That's always been a goal of mine as just an athlete or playing in college is to win a national championship. So I knew, even coming in as a freshman, I knew we'd have a chance to do it at some point, and now it's here.
Has it hit you that you guys have this opportunity, or is it going to hit you more when you get down to Arizona in a couple days?
No, I definitely. I mean, I feel like once they showed the the seeding and the seeds of the college football playoffs, that's when it hit me. I feel like it hit everybody else, and we've been practicing and preparing for it for the past few weeks. And we know what we're getting into.
And I want to ask about Maddox. You came in the same class as him. How have you seen him grow over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, he's been a baller since he stepped foot on campus. From the work he's put in, his preparation. I mean, he's dialed every single day. I mean, even sometimes he's telling me to lock in. I'm a little goofy, play around sometimes, but he's telling me to lock in, focus up. But he's just growing each and every single year and gotten better throughout just this season alone. He's gotten better each and every single week, and he knows what it takes to win. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but he knows what it takes to win, and he's willing to put the work in to get the results.
Devin, we'll go to you.
Hey, Ashton. Obviously, teams do a lot of preparation to try and stop what you do as a runner. Do you ever feel that pressure internally from yourself to make those big plays? If they stop you a couple times in a row, like how do you manage, wanting to go after a big play to just take in what's there and, maybe move the chains versus get a 60 or 70-yard?
Yeah, I think, just from a running the ball perspective, unless you're playing a bad defense, like the big plays don't just come off the rip. It comes from running the same plays multiple times, hitting the same spots in the run game or even the O-line, just wearing down the D-line. And then over time, the big plays, they come. But, every run's not going to be a big play. So just being patient, trusting my O-line, trusting my tight ends, my receivers, everybody blocking. And I know over time, at some point during the game, there's going to be a chance to make a big play.
Colton, we'll throw it to you.
Yeah, thanks for the time. So, Ashton, you've obviously played at a high level and have seen some running backs play at a high level. I'm just curious from your perspective, is there any kind of common traits that to be a great running back you've got to have across the board? Yeah,
I think from one, running the ball, just your mentality is, always making the first man miss. Every run play isn't going to be block perfect. Sometimes somebody's going to come free. Sometimes you got to make the linebacker miss, safety. Whatever it is, you just got to break tackles. So I think all the great running backs, they just have that mentality that the first man isn't going to tackle them.
Joe, we'll throw it to you.
I appreciate the time, Ashton. So, talking about Penn State's defensive line, do you feel like this is the best D-line you've seen to this year, to this point? And what players stick out to you on their front?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best defensive lines, I feel. I think just as a whole collective unit, they're all great, and they all make each other look really good. I mean, obviously, and not even on the defensive line, the whole front seven. I mean, you got linebacker King. He's a pretty big guy, 6'1", 248. Abdul Carter, I believe, number 11, off the edge. I mean, he's a great player. So they're working together as a great front seven, and we're gonna have our work cut out for us.
Jared, you're up next.
Ashton, I wanted to get a glimpse into who you are as a person. What makes Ashton Jeanty Ashton Jeanty?
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of people, just talk about, the humbleness, but, that's just how I was raised. I think that's just who I am as a person. Like, I always want more. Obviously, I get a lot of glory, but, that's not really what drives me. And then I think you hear a lot of people say it, but, I'm just goofy. I like to have fun. I like to, bring joy to others around me, because I feel like, football, obviously college football now is turning into more of a business, but, you can do hard things and, have a good time. So, I mean, the biggest thing for me is just, having fun, enjoying what I'm doing, and, bringing others along to enjoy with me.
Devin, we'll go back to you.
Hey, Ashton, just wanted to ask you about kind of your pass protection mentality. There's several times this year where you stepped up and took a free blitzer or took someone coming off free off the edge. What's that mentality to be able to do those things? Obviously, people focus a lot on, your big runs and your ability to make people miss, but how important to you is pass protection and being able to do that?
Yeah, I think, well, it's either I pick them up or, Mad Dog gets hit. So just it's important to protect the quarterback, take hits off him. And then obviously so receivers have, time to, run their routes and get open so Mad Dog can deliver the ball. But, a lot of times, they're running free and they're running full speed at you. But, I'm saying, you gotta pick up the pressure. You got to, sometimes I have gotten, trucked or whatever you want to call it, knocked over, but, at least they didn't hit Mad Dog. So I think, from that perspective, it's just being another willing blocker to add to all the old linemen blocking up too.
Cool. That's it from Zoom. We can go back to you guys.
One or two more in here. Ash, I'm assuming your mentions and stuff on social media have been a little crazy this year. And the other day, did you look down and see like, oh, Barry Sanders is tweeting about me? Like, how'd that go down?
Yeah, I think the first one was like before the Mountain West Championship. I seen that one. Didn't respond. Just was focused on ball and stuff. But excuse me. And then he, tweeted again, kind of just in his support of breaking his record. So, I think it's pretty cool to have support, from the person who has a record right now and obviously considered the best or not, if not one of the best to ever play the position. So obviously I told him thank you and, for his support, and it's just great to have the support of a legend.
I know you're not, you said earlier today, you don't know how many, 1,916 yards last year or whatever, right? But I know you're not the biggest stat guy, but at the same time, do you know that? Do you know what his number is and what you got to do to get there? And I know I've asked you before, but that would be obviously a heck of a thing for you to go eclipse.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact rushing. No, I think it's like 2,600 or something like that. I know I'm at like 2,400, something like that. And I need 132. Obviously, like I want to break the record, but I think we just got to keep the main thing, and that's just winning, against Penn State. And I feel like if we, take care of what we need to take care of, then that will come with it, just like everything else, just like all the other awards, all the other stats, they'll come with it.
It is 26-28. And do you want that on Mason's thigh? Do you need that number to be 26, 28? And then who's covering that? The cost of that thing, was that sorted out yet?
We haven't sorted out yet, but I think it would be best for me to cover the cost. Since I flipped the bet, I don't gotta cut my locks, so it's the least I can do. But yeah, I'm not gonna say that's gonna be the number because. We take care of business, we win, we got some more games to play, so it's going to be more rushing yards.
Have you watched any of Sanders' highlights?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously growing up, wasn't really watching Barry Sanders, but now, more as of lately, definitely watch his highlights multiple times.
What impressed you the most, and what do you think are you most similar to him as?
I think just him, obviously, he was super elusive, juking guys out their shoes. I juke guys too, but I think the main thing is just, making guys miss, breaking tackles.